Hi, my name is Edward Mance. I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Worldwide Media Ventures, which is going to go through a name change to Mudfog Media, and I'll get into that in a few seconds here. The purpose behind this little mini deck is to give you guys a sense of what we are, who we are, and how we're positioning ourselves out in the marketplace with respect to the products that we have that were under development, and why we think that we should be head turners for you. So first, the name change. We know. we know. There we go. That as we have been going through this process, that the more we thought about everything, the more we realized that we really are relying on the bloggers or contributors of the content over time. It's what got us to the name brightminds.com as opposed to some of the crazy names and words that were made up. We thought that Bright Minds would make a much more appealing entity for bloggers and other contributors to participate with. And so we thought Worldwide Media Ventures just sounded a little too corporate, over time here we'll be migrating towards the name Mudfog. Well, I should probably just go back. Why Mudfog? Mudfog is a rather obscure reference to Charles Dickens' short story of the Mudfog Papers, which surrounded a town called Mudfog, and specifically there was a society of sorts around the Mudfog Papers for the advancement of everything, and the whole notion of the advancement of everything, and all of what we're doing in terms of the collection of blogs and other materials for the promotion and of knowledge of all of the topics that we are collecting all this for seemed appropriate, even though it would be obscure and would go over the heads of the vast majority of people, as it has every single person that I've talked to so far. Anyway, so we will be coming out with two brands. Both of them will have an online presence. In other words, they'll have a .com consumer site that we'll be running. And one will have a syndication, content syndication side of the business as well. The one that I just mentioned that will have the content syndication side of the business is by far going to be the big revenue generator, and will have less of a brand presence of mind for the next 6 or 9 months as we build product out, because as we build product, we can syndicate what we build, we'll certainly publish it under our own site, but we will not be promoting the site overall, at least not through the front door, to get people coming through the front door, until we have some critical mass of content already up and published. So it will not be the big brand presence initially, but it will by far be the biggest revenue generator. The other brand will have a terrific, wonderful traffic generation through social media, viral leverage. There's no question that the concept is going to take off in that direction. We'll get more on that a little bit later. But because of the nature of it, it's not going to enjoy the same amount of revenue per unique user, and it will not have the same syndication opportunities that the first brand will have. So they each serve, in our minds, a complementary purpose. First of all, one will helps define the other brand when you put them up against each other. And given the characteristics of one being the highly profitable one, the other one being the high traffic generator one, I've been around long enough now to know that each one attracts a different type of buyer, which to me means we get twice as many buyers, and that which should do nothing more than at least support the price that any one of them would come in and buy at, if not drive it up a little bit higher, or a lot higher. Yeah, as a package, I think they make it really strong to resist for pretty much any significant print or digital publisher or even syndicator of any magnitude at this point. So, what are the two brands? They are Bright Minds and Dimwits. Before you run away, let me just go back to them. Bright Minds and Dimwits. Bright Minds is the one that is going to generate the vast majority of revenue. It is by far it requires the most work, and is there's nothing out there quite like it yet still. With the syndication revenue streams already lining up, we're pretty confident that we're going to hit some pretty good numbers in 2011 already. Now, if you were to be driving down a road, and for those of us who are here in Silicon Valley, up and down 101, and it were 10, 12 years ago, and all you saw was Bright Minds and Dimwits on the billboard, you would be compelled to go to the .coms of each of those. Now, if all you were doing is seeing Bright Minds, it wouldn't be as attractive, or Dimwits may be more attractive, but not as. But if you saw both, suddenly you start to see the other one more clearly. They stand up well together in helping you define one versus the other one. And yes, there will be, as we'll outline later, cross-promotion opportunities between the two brands. So, Bright Minds, we think will generate at least $20 million next calendar year, this coming calendar year, in 2011. Some calculations say more. Now, it's possible that we could come in with less, and if we do, it's only because we haven't figured out how to maximize the amount of advertising revenue that flows in through the syndication, because that's going to be mostly, not all of it, but about 80% of it will be on a revenue share basis of advertising revenue. Now, you'll see a clip later on of the gentleman who's responsible for operations at the New York Times. We'll talk about just how much more profitable a media property just like Bright Minds is, for exactly the same reasons that we are excited about building, and we're hoping that you're excited about joining us with some capital as well. That should grab you. Now, even if it was lower, that should grab you as well. The profit margins are just extraordinary, and there are reasons for that, and they're all in the business drivers, and that's a separate clip altogether. So we see 2012 revenues being on the order of $50 million, and could it be higher? Absolutely.